And I'm going to start off with a juicy one here. Okay? You ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
What's more likely? Kobe Turner has 2 sacks versus the Colts, or Kyren Williams has two touchdowns on Sunday?
That's a good one. I'm going to say Kyren Williams has 2 touchdowns on Sunday. While he hasn't had a bunch of rushing touchdowns this year so far, like we have seen in years past, I think there's definitely a legitimate stock to put into this Colts offensive line with how good that they've been talked about. So I think it would be more likely for Kyren Williams to have 2 touchdowns than it would be for Kobe Turner to have 2 sacks, in my mind.
That's fair. I don't know why, but I'm just predicting a big Kobe Turner game this game.
I can see it.
Just a vibe. So I'm actually going to say I think Kobe Turner has 2 sacks is more likely.
Ooh. This will be a fun one to check back up on after the game's done.
Definitely. Let's see. The next one. What's more likely to be the story on Monday if the Rams win this game? The Colts are frauds or the Rams are really good?
Definitely the Colts are frauds. I think just looking at it from the fact that a lot of people are ready for them to like crash down to earth, I've seen that talked about a lot. And I think that when you are only 3 games through a season and the Titans really the Colts haven't really beaten any good teams other than the Titans, the Dolphins, sorry, Grandizer. And then even the Broncos where they barely beat them. I'm not too high on the Broncos other than their defense. I've seen a lot of people saying that they're ready for the Colts to crash down to earth. So I think that it'll be more of the conversation outside of us Rams fans will be talking about how the Colts are frauds in my mind.
Yeah, I guess that's context. I was specifically talking about like the mainstream media narrative. Obviously, Rams fans like us are going to be like, "Oh yeah, the Rams are the best."
Yeah, totally.
But yeah, I think you're probably right there. Just because this week, like I reacted to the Pardon My Take game preview, they barely mentioned the Rams at all, and like they only talked about it for like 4 minutes, but like they talked about pretty much Daniel Jones. They talked about Jerry O'Connell appearing on Kelly Stafford's podcast. That didn't mention the Rams at all.
Yeah, I mean, when you have a team that's super unproven so far, and that's been such a like highlighted storyline, it feels like they're more ready to pounce on that than they're to be like, oh, the Rams are Super Bowl contenders, that kind of thing for me.
Yep. Okay. What's more likely? Jonathan Taylor has 150 yards rushing, or Puka Nacua has 150 yards receiving. I know we kind of talked about this earlier, but I'm curious.
Yeah, I still say Puka Nacua, and maybe there's some bias in there, but we haven't seen a running back explode against this Rams defense yet this year. Even a guy like Saquon, who would put up like 400 combined yards of offense against us last year. So I'm optimistic. I think the changes that the Rams made in the offseason to address the run defense have really shown themselves. But even just another year of experience for this Rams defense seems to have shown a lot of like maturity and growth in terms of stopping the run. So Puka Nacua, 150 yards receiving, I would say is more likely than 150 Jonathan Taylor rushing yards. Although he is the leading running back in the NFL right now in terms of rushing yards, I just think the Rams have enough to be able to keep him under that mark.
Well, and last Thursday night's game aside, Puka Nacua did enter this week as the leading receiver in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
pretty good.
Yeah, good. What's more likely? Sean McVay challenges a Puka no catch in the first half, or Shane Steichen uses at least one timeout in the first quarter?
I don't know Shane Steichen's tendencies. So in that case, I would say Sean McVay challenges a Puka no catch, just because I don't know Shane Steichen too well. I don't really know how he manages the clock. Maybe we would present him with like such an exotic defensive look that they don't really like what the Colts offense is looking like against the Rams defense. I could see it there, but I would say maybe another Puka catch challenge in my opinion.
I think refs just got to stop saying Puka didn't catch it, because every time it gets challenges, it turns out he didn't catch it. Like, this dates back to his rookie year.
Yeah. I remember that crazy catch that he had against the Saints in his rookie year, the deep downfield, and he caught it, was dragged down for a lot of yards, and then like the ball came out at the very end, and they're like, "Did he catch that?" I was like, "He had it for like 3 seconds." Yeah.
Oh man.
The refs need to get off Puka's case in general, though. Like,
yeah, like they're
that
calling him out for
taunting call.
taunting.
What confuses me about that one is like Puka does that all the time, and he's like the last player that you'd ever accuse of having a taunting call. And so, like, it's weird how he didn't even get a warning for that. Like, it just randomly I don't know.
And
It was weird.
he's literally not looking at any Eagles player specifically, but there are like two Eagles kind of waddling in his line of sight, and the refs are like, "Oh, throw the flag."
Yeah, I don't know.
What's more likely? The Rams defense gets a pick six, or the Colts are forced to punt 3 times on Sunday?
This is a good one too, actually. I'm gonna say we forced them to punt 3 times on Sunday. I know they've only done it once so far up to this point, but I have confidence in our defense. I'm not sure if I'm getting the vibe this week that we get a pick 6, but I'm not saying it's out of the question. I'm just going to say more likely they punt 3 times.
Okay. Yeah, I would probably tend to agree with that. I think that the Colts narrative of like they don't punt can only go on for so long, right?
Yeah.
It's the NFL, right?
Yeah, even for like a team who's proven to be good for all these years, like the Ravens, if that was a stat for the Ravens, it's like at some point that's going to come down, right?
Yeah. Looks like Rams Mob and Rams Showcase Sheriff Joe agree with us there. Yes. Okay, I got 2 more here for you. Okay.
Okay.
What's more likely? Devontae Adams catches the game-winning touchdown with less than a minute left, or Ethan Evans pins the Colts at the 1-yard line on a punt this game?
That's a good question. Will there be that many punts this game? That's another question.
Yeah, that's another question. I do like that idea.
That would be sweet.
Yeah, you heard it here first. Cam Curl pick 6. I like it.
This is a really good question. Just because, like, it's really hard to know how this game is going to go. Like, it feels like it's going to be high scoring, but will it? Like, will it come down to that? Oh man, would we see history repeat itself with a game-winning touchdown by a Rams receiver against the Colts? That's a good question. I'm just gonna go with the Adams touchdown. I don't know why. I'm just going with Adams touchdown.
Yeah, I'll probably go Adams touchdown too, but I don't think it's out of the question for Ethan Evans. Like he's due for pinning someone at the 1.
Yeah, he's a phenomenal punter, for sure.
Okay, final one. I had to give props to Joshua Carty because he's just doing so good with those kickoffs. What's more likely? Joshua Carty's dirty ball turns into a Colts turnover, or Stafford throws a 30-plus yard pass to Tutu Atwell on Sunday?
Yeah, I'm feeling the Tutu Atwell thing. I don't know what it is about this week. I'm going to go Tutu Atwell. I just feel like there's going to be 1 or 2 big impact plays he makes this week. So I'm going to put my faith in Tutu Atwell here.
I'm actually gonna go Joshua Carty's dirty ball. I think we've seen it all season long. The Eagles' performance, especially in that first half, was just phenomenal. And I think if the Rams like kick return coverage can get there, I see that dirty ball turning into a turnover at some point in the Rams' favor. And so I think that. Wouldn't it be fun if the Colts' first turnover on the year was, in fact, because, like, think of it. Start the game, Joshua Carty kicks it off to the Colts, turnover, and the Rams get the ball at, like, the 5-yard line.
That'd be awesome.
That'd be so fun. I'm here for that.
Yeah. I feel like it's funny because in my mind, I'm like, the Colts have to be watching the film after the Eagles game and seeing the way that we were kicking off those and like making them have such poor field position so many times and be able to practice against it. But it's also like, I think it's only us and the Jets that have been able to perfect that kick to be able to use it to where it's like, how would they even practice it? Because I'm guessing that's something that you figure out and are able to get down as well as the Rams have in training camp. I don't think it's something that you can just like flip on a switch and now like you're able to practice that. So I could definitely see a turnover in that way. I just have a feeling about Tutu Atwell this game for some reason.
Oh yeah, no, I like that. I like that. All aboard the 2-2 train. Yeah.
It's funny how we both had him in our segments. Tutu Atwell.
It's because we care. It's because we care, right? Mainstream media doesn't care about Tutu Atwell, but Rams media does.
Oh yeah, you got to put some respect on Tutu Atwell's name.
Yeah. Well, that was what's more likely, but it's just the Rams. That was fun. Thanks everyone for playing along.
Good topics.
Yeah.